6:59 on this Thursday morning. High temperature on Wednesday was 38 degrees. That came at 11:04. 7 above the normal high for the 5th of October, 9 above last year's high. Low temperature of 29, 6 above the normal low, and 12 above last year's low. Average temperature on Wednesday was 34 degrees, 7 above normal, 11 above last year. Highest gust of wind from the west at 35 miles an hour. We're right in the middle of World Space Week. It's also the start of National Physicians Assistants Appreciation Week, and its Great American Beer Festival begins today. October 6th is known as American Libraries Day, Mad Hatter Day, National Badger Day, National Plus Size Appreciation Day, National Noodle Day. Good morning, it's 7 o'clock, and you're listening to KBRW, 680 AM, Barrow, Atkasuk, and Wainwright. 91.9 FM in Barrow, 88.1 FM in Kaktovik, Noakes and Point Lay, 101.5 FM in Point Hope and Anaktuvik Pass, and worldwide at kbrw.org. Community radio from the North Slope, broadcasting from the top of the world, Barrow, Alaska. Thursday, October 6th, 278th day of 2022, the short-term forecast for the northern Arctic coast, a coastal flood warning in effect through noon on Friday, and a high wind warning in effect from 1 p.m. until 7 p.m. on Friday. Today, 80% chance of rain and snow, areas of fog, a high near 39, south winds around 35, gusts as high as 55 miles an hour. Mostly clear tonight, areas of fog, a low around 34, south winds around 40 with gusts as high as 60 miles an hour. Friday, partly sunny, 30% chance of rain and snow, a high near 37, southwest winds around 40, gusts as high as 60 miles an hour. It's 40 degrees right now. South-southwest winds 28, gusting to 38 miles an hour.
This is statewide news from Alaska Public Media. I'm Michael Finelli. A storm was forecast to hit Alaska's northwest coast with high winds and coastal flooding, starting last night and continuing into Friday. That's as many western Alaska communities are still trying to recover from last month's major storm, the remnants of Typhoon Merbok, which impacted nearly 1,000 miles of coastline. While the current storm's track appears to be farther north, National Weather Service meteorologist Ryan Metzger says the communities impacted by the previous storm are now more vulnerable than they were a month ago.
You know, the worst impacts was the storm way north of the Bering Strait, but areas south of the Bering Strait that were impacted by the previous storm, you know, they have more susceptibility to, you know, small, you know, lower events. So that's kind of where we're keeping an eye out for those areas.
The most serious impacts are expected from Shishmaref to Kotzebue and up the coast to Utqiagvik. The Weather Service has issued warnings for high winds, flooding, or both for those areas, as well as the community of Gamble on St. Lawrence Island in the Bering Sea. To the south, in places like Nome, Unalakleet, and down to Hooper Bay, there are less serious weather advisories in effect. State officials say assessment resources and local contractors are already on hand in communities that might be affected by the coming storm. Governor Mike Dunleavy urged residents in the region to prepare. He emphasized the importance of protecting human life after no deaths or serious injuries were reported from last month's storm. In other news, employment in Alaska's oil and gas sector is still lagging in 2022, according to an October report from the Alaska Department of Labor. Jobs have been slow to recover across many industries since the COVID-19 pandemic began. The report says Alaska lost more than 26,000 jobs in 2020. But oil and gas is having an especially hard time bouncing back. The industry lost over 2,000 jobs in 2020 and then another 1,500 in 2021.
I would have expected that those employment would have recovered more than it has so far. It's recovered a little bit, but not very much.
Neil Freed is an economist with the state of Alaska. He says even though oil prices have been relatively high and companies have more money to spend, that boost hasn't been followed by a big surge in activity on the patch. Freed says that's partly because the state's industry is very project-oriented. There's often a longer lag time between changes in oil prices and new investment than there may be elsewhere. Still, Alaska is gaining more jobs in the industry, just slowly. The report estimates the state will see an additional 2,000 oil and gas jobs by 2030, which would bring the industry to just above its pre-pandemic levels. This is Alaska Public Media.
The Alaska Morning News is brought to you in part by
North Rim Bank.
helping power the businesses that power Alaska with customized solutions. More at northrim.com.
Support for NPR comes from NPR stations. Other contributors include Paychex. Paychex's team of professionals and compliance specialists work to help businesses automate all HR functions into one platform so that they can instead focus on their business and their employees.
The morning edition on KBRW is brought to you in part by Aztec, the Arctic Slope Telephone Association Cooperative. Now, time for the KBRW Morning Report.
Good morning. It's 7:08 on this Thursday, October 6th. This story comes from Andrew Kitchenman, the Alaska Beacon. High winds and coastal flooding in western and northern Alaska are forecast from another unusually strong storm system moving through the area through the weekend. David Kramer of the National Weather Service said wind gusts of up to 75 miles per hour could affect a stretch of coast from Point Lay to Point Hope. Winds of up to 65 to 70 miles per hour are forecast for St. Lawrence Island and the Bering Strait coast. At a news conference held by Governor Mike Dunleavy yesterday, Kramer said that the weather system is similar to storms that more frequently affect the eastern portions of the Bering Sea and portions of Russia. But it's highly unusual for a storm of this size to be as far north and west as this one, allowing it to enter the western Chukchi Sea, which is the part of the Arctic Ocean between northwest Alaska and Russia. Kramer said it could be the strongest weather system in the area since the 1950s in terms of how low the air pressure will be. The highest water levels could be 5 to 7 feet above the normal high tide line between Point Lay and Point Hope, according to the forecast. The peak level is forecast to be late Thursday into early Friday. The storm is expected to bring rain, followed by freezing temperatures and possible snow showers over the weekend. Kramer said that fish camps and other infrastructure could be damaged along the coast. Kramer advised Alaskans to visit the Weather Service's site for around-the-clock updates. Dunleavy and senior officials in his administration provided information about preparations for the storm, as well as about the ongoing recovery from Typhoon Merbok. Alaska National Guard Adjutant General Torrance Sachs said National Guard members have been deployed to the storm. Sachs said he will be ready. Dunleavy emphasized that people went through their safe, having the outfit to be replaced. Regarding the recovery from Merbok, Dunleavy said it has been a team effort between state, local, and tribal officials. He said, "I want to thank the mayors of these communities. They're working very hard to get things up and running." He also thanked other local government, tribal, nonprofit, and school leaders. This story comes from Lisa Fu of the Alaska Beacon. Alaska's general election is on Tuesday, November 8th. For the general election, voters will be asked to rank candidates for U.S. Senator, U.S. Representative, Governor, Lieutenant Governor, State Senator, and State Representative. You'll be asked to vote yes or no on the ballot measure, shall there be a constitutional convention? Vote yes or no on a Court of Appeals judge. And based on judicial district, vote yes or no on Superior Court and or District Court judges. You can learn more about the judges on the 2022 ballot on the Alaska Judicial Council website or on the Division of Elections candidates webpage. With about a month left before the November 8th general election, here are some pertinent election-related dates. Potential voters have until Sunday, October 9th to register to vote in order to participate in the November 8th general election. Registration is available online or in person at an Alaska Division of Elections office. Alaskans can check the status of their registration online. To accommodate voter registration, regional election offices in Juneau, Anchorage, Fairbanks, Nome, and Wasilla will be open for voter registration on Saturday, October 8th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sunday, October 9th from 9 p.m. until 4 p.m. You can find the addresses of regional election offices on the Division of Elections website. October 10th through the 17th, the Division of Elections aims to mail the official election pamphlet on October 10th and is required to do so by October 17th at the latest. The pamphlet contains helpful voter information on topics like voting by mail, in-person absentee voting, and how to find your polling place. It also has statements from candidates who have opted to provide that information and pay for space in the pamphlet, as well as information on judicial retention candidates. The official election pamphlet will also be available online, likely the week of October 10th. By-mail ballots will be mailed around October 14th, so this is the time for voters who have already applied for a by-mail ballot to be on the lookout for their ballots, according to Division of Elections Officer Gail Fanumii. Ballots will not automatically be sent to all Alaska voters. Only people who request a by-mail ballot will receive one. To request one, apply online before Saturday, October 29th, or contact the Division of Elections at 907-270-2700 or 877-375-6508. Gail Fanumii said, "We highly encourage voters, as soon as they get their ballot and feel they're comfortable in making their choice for their candidate and voting how they want to vote, to return their ballot as soon as possible." Fanumii also wants to stress for by-mail ballots that the voter is supposed to sign it in the presence of somebody who can serve as a witness, and anybody over the age of 18 could serve as a witness. The voter also has to provide an identifier, like a birth date, driver's license, or the last 4 digits of your Social Security number. By-mail ballots can be returned to any voting location that's open or returned through the postal system. Fanumii said, "If you're returning your ballot through the postal system, we encourage voters to take the time to take it to a customer service rep at the post office and have them provide that hand-canceled stamp on there. That will give extra assurance that we actually have a valid postmark date that we can read." Absentee in-person voting, early in-person voting, and special needs voting begins October 24th, which is 15 days before the general election day. This is also the day that voters can start to apply to vote by electronic transmission. There are early and absentee in-person voting locations across the state. Fanumii said a full list of locations, along with physical addresses and hours, should be posted on their website by Friday. Electronic transmission is another method in which a voter can receive a ballot. The division website has more information on 2 electronic options of by fax or online ballot delivery. Deadline to apply for both those options is November 7th. Fanumii said, "Special needs voting is intended for people who are not able to go in person to vote due to an age, illness, or disability." She said they can request somebody to go to a voting site and pick up a ballot for them. This personal representative has to fill out a form and get the ballot for the voter, take it back to the voter, and the voter has to sign the envelope. The personal rep can assist the voter in completing the envelope, and then the personal representative is responsible for returning that ballot back to one of the voting locations. A personal representative must return a voted ballot back to a voting location on or before 8 p.m. on November 8th. If you want to receive a by-mail ballot, October 29th is the final day to request one. To request one, apply online before 11:59 p.m. on Saturday, October 29th, or contact the Division of Elections. Division of Elections staff will be available between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. on that day. Tuesday, November 8th, is Election Day. The general election is an in-person election, so voters who haven't voted early or absentee will need to go to a polling place to cast their votes. Polling places are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. For new guys, we encourage voters to find out where their polling location is before they can change. If you receive a ballot delivery or online ballot delivery, must be returned on or before 8 p.m. on November 8th. You can find more voter resources on the
How do you connect your data where it lives and turn it into intelligence to be acted on in real time?
Sample ballots and the complete
for a modern
division
athletic
election
look.
calendar.
And the narrow leg pairs.
If you don't know your polling place, there are a few ways to figure out where you should vote. You can enter your name and address into the Alaska Division of Elections precinct map. Enter your name and city in the Division of Elections voter information website, or call any Division of Elections regional office. All methods will give your polling place and precinct number. The precinct map also lists your House district and Senate district letter. The Alaska Candidate Comparison Tool, a joint project between the Alaska Beacon, Alaska Public Media, the Anchorage Daily News, and KTOO, allows voters to explore the positions that candidates for statewide office have taken on a variety of issues. Also includes information about campaign contributions and the voting records of the candidates. On its candidates' webpage, the Division of Elections offers information for candidates in the 2022 general election, including information on judges. You can find candidates' websites and official candidate statements if they were submitted. It's now 19 minutes after 7 o'clock.
As the school year begins, the North Slope Borough School District has fantastic news for all North Slope students. North Slope Borough School District, in partnership with Aztec, is offering to upgrade your household's current internet connection in order to bring education content from the school district to all North Slope Borough School District students. This upgrade won't cost you anything. Over the next couple of months, households with North Slope Borough School District students residing in them will be able to access this limited free offer. Our school district believes in the power of education to develop and empower all communities on the North Slope. The North Slope Borough School District is very excited about this opportunity to bring educational content to your home to help students succeed. This free service is part of a government grant and available for a limited time. This is a voluntary upgrade and you are not required to access it. If you have a student attending the North Slope Borough School District and would like to take advantage of this offer, please call Aztec at 1-800-478-6409 for more information on how to get this free North Slope Borough School District service. You can stop by the Steam Dot Coffee Shop inside Stuakpuk for your favorite fresh-made coffee drink 7 days a week. And now you can join Steam Dot's paperless punch card program. Your coffee purchase will automatically be recorded in your Stuakpuk customer loyalty account. And once you buy 9 drinks, the 10th coffee drink is free. The paperless punch card program. It's on now at the Steam Dot Coffee Shop inside Stuakpuk. Open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to midnight, Sundays from 9 to 9.
Here's the weather forecast for Thursday, October 6th from the National Weather Service. A strong low-pressure system is near Wrangel Island with storm-force winds in the southwest Arctic and gales spreading east across the Arctic. This low will move 300 nautical miles northeast of Wrangel Island by Friday morning, with gales spreading east as winds slowly diminish Friday. Saturday, the low will be in the high Arctic, with southwest winds diminishing across the area. Northern Arctic coast has a coastal flood warning in effect through noon today. Water levels expected to rise 3 to 4 feet above the normal high tide line, and the highest water levels expected Thursday afternoon through Friday morning. And a high wind warning in effect from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Friday. Southwest winds 30 to 40 with gusts as high as 60 miles an hour. Expected winds will shift from the south to the southwest tomorrow morning. 80% chance of rain and snow, areas of fog, a high near 39. South winds around 35 with gusts as high as 55 miles an hour. Tonight, mostly clear, areas of fog, a low around 34. South winds around 40 with gusts as high as 60 miles an hour.
For your off days.
Friday, partly sunny with 30% chance of rain and snow. A high near 37. Southwest winds around 40 with gusts as high as 60 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy Friday night, 30% chance of rain and snow. Areas of blowing snow, low around 30. Southwest winds 25 to 35 with gusts as high as 50 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy on Saturday, 20% chance of snow showers and a high near 34. Chukchi Seacoast with a high wind warning in effect through 4 p.m. today. South winds 30 to 40 with gusts up to 65 miles an hour expected. And a coastal flood warning in effect. Through 7 p.m. on Friday. Water levels expected to rise 3 to 5 feet above the normal high tide line. Highest water levels are expected Thursday night through Friday afternoon. Partly sunny today, 30% chance of showers, patchy fog, a high near 44. Southwest winds around 50 with gusts as high as 75 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy tonight, 60% chance of showers, patchy fog, low around 35. Southwest winds around 45, gusts as high as 70 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy on Friday, 50% chance of rain and snow and a high near 40. Southwest winds 30 to 35, gusts as high as 55 miles an hour. Decreasing to 25 to 30 miles an hour Friday afternoon. Mostly cloudy Friday night, 40% chance of rain and snow, a low around 33. West winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Cloudy on Saturday, 30% chance of showers, and a high near 38. Southwestern Arctic coast, including Point Lay, has a high wind warning in effect from 4 p.m. this afternoon through midnight. South winds 35 to 45 miles an hour with gusts up to 70 miles an hour. Winds will shift from south to the southwest tomorrow morning. And a coastal flood warning in effect through noon on Friday. Water levels expected to rise 5 to 7 feet above the normal high tide line. Highest water levels expected Thursday night through Friday morning. Partly sunny today, 30% chance of showers, a high near 42. Southwest winds around 50 with gusts as high as 75 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy tonight, 50% chance of showers, a low around 33. South winds 45 to 50 with gusts as high as 75 miles an hour. Friday mostly cloudy, 60% chance of rain and snow, patchy fog, high near 39. Southwest winds around 35 with gusts as high as 65 miles an hour. Friday night, mostly cloudy, 50% chance of rain and snow, low around 29. Southwest winds 15 to 25 with gusts as high as 40 miles an hour. Cloudy on Saturday, 40% chance of rain and snow, and a high near 36. The northwestern Arctic coast, including Wainwright, has the same high wind warning in effect from 4 p.m. this afternoon through midnight. South winds 35 to 45 with gusts as high as 70 miles an hour. Winds will shift from the south to the southwest tomorrow morning. And also a coastal flood warning in effect through noon on Friday. Water levels expected to rise 5 to 7 feet above the normal high tide line. Highest water levels are expected Thursday night through Friday morning. Tomorrow. Today, cloudy through mid-morning, then gradually clearing. 60% chance of showers, areas of fog. High near 40. Southwest winds 35 to 45 with gusts as high as 65 miles an hour. Partly cloudy tonight, 30% chance of rain and snow, low around 34. Southwest winds around 45 with gusts as high as 70 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy tonight, 50% chance of rain and snow, high near 37. Southwest winds 35 to 40 with gusts as high as 60 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy Friday night, 40% chance of snow. Areas of blowing snow, a low around 30. Southwest winds around 20 with gusts as high as 45 miles an hour. Saturday, mostly cloudy, 30% chance of snow and a high near 34. Central Beaufort Sea Coast, mostly cloudy today. 50% chance of showers, patchy fog, and a high near 41. Southwest winds 15 to 20 with gusts as high as 30 miles an hour. Partly cloudy tonight, a low around 30. South winds around 20 with gusts as high as 30 miles an hour. Mostly sunny on Friday, high near 38. Southwest winds 25 to 30, gusts as high as 40 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy Friday night, 20% chance of snow, a low around 26. South winds 15 to 25 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy on Saturday, a high near 33. Eastern Beaufort Seacoast, including Koktovik, mostly cloudy today, a high near 41. Southeast winds around 10 miles an hour, becoming south this afternoon. Mostly cloudy tonight, low around 32. South winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming east after midnight. Friday, 20% chance of rain and snow. Partly sunny with a high near 40. North winds 5 to 15 miles an hour, becoming southwest in the morning. Friday night, partly cloudy, low around 28. South winds around 20 with gusts as high as 35 miles an hour. Mostly sunny on Saturday with a high near 35. Northeast Brooks Range, including Edding Pass and Galbraith Lake. 90% chance of snow, areas of blowing snow, areas of freezing fog. High near 28, southwest winds around 30 with gusts as high as 45 miles an hour. Tonight, 90% chance of snow, areas of blowing snow, areas of freezing fog, low around 24. South winds 25 to 35 with gusts as high as 50 miles an hour. Friday, 80% chance of snow, areas of blowing snow and freezing fog, a high near 27, southwest winds around 30 with gusts as high as 50 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy Friday night, 50% chance of snow, areas of blowing snow, low around 17, south winds 25 to 30 with gusts as high as 40 miles an hour, decreasing to 15 to 20 miles an hour after midnight. Saturday, mostly cloudy, 30% chance of snow and a high near 22. Northwest Brooks Range, including Eniktuvik Pass. 80% chance of snow today, then rain showers. Areas of fog and a high near 39. South winds 20 to 25 with gusts as high as 35 miles an hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy. 70% chance of showers. Areas of fog. Steady temperature around 37. South winds 20 to 25 miles an hour. Friday, mostly cloudy. 60% chance of snow. Areas of fog. High near 36. South winds 20 to 25 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy Friday night, 50% chance of snow. Low around 23, south winds 15 to 20 with gusts as high as 30 miles an hour. Saturday, 30% chance of snow, mostly cloudy with a high near 30. Now the marine forecast issued at 4:28 a.m. this morning. Cape Thompson to Cape Beaufort has a storm warning in effect through this evening. Today, southwest winds 50 knots, seas to 20 feet. Tonight, southwest winds 45 knots, seas to 19 feet with rain showers. Friday, west winds 30 knots, seas to 13 feet. Friday night, west winds 20 knots, seas to 8 feet. Saturday, west winds 15 knots, seas to 6 feet. Cape Beaufort to Point Franklin has a storm warning in effect from this morning through tonight. Today, south winds 50 knots, seas to 21 feet. Tonight, southwest winds 50 knots, seas to 21 feet with rain showers and snow showers. Friday, southwest winds 35 knots, seas to 15 feet, rain and snow showers. Friday night, southwest winds 20 knots, seas to 10 feet. Saturday, southwest winds 15 knots, seas to 7 feet. Point Franklin to Cape Halkett, gale warning in effect from late this morning through early Friday morning. Today, south winds 40 knots, seas 11 feet, building to 17 feet, rain showers and snow showers. Tonight, south winds 45 knots, seas to 20 feet. Friday, southwest winds 40 knots, seas to 17 feet. Friday night, southwest winds 25 knots, seas to 11 feet. Saturday, southwest winds 15 knots, seas to 8 feet. Cape Halkett to Flaxman Island, small craft advisory in effect through early Friday morning. Today, south winds 30 knots, seas to 6 feet. Tonight, southwest winds 30 knots, seas to 8 feet. Friday, southwest winds 30 knots, seas to 10 feet. Friday night, southwest winds 30 knots, seas to 12 feet with freezing spray. Saturday, south winds 15 knots, seas to 6 feet. Flaxman Island to Demarcation Point. Today, south winds 20 knots, seas to 4 feet. Tonight, south winds 15 knots, seas to 4 feet. Friday, southwest winds 25 knots, seas to 7 feet. Friday night, southwest winds 30 knots, seas 11 feet with freezing spray. Saturday, south winds 10 knots, seas to 5 feet. Once again, the forecast for the northern Arctic coast. Coastal flood warning in effect until noon tomorrow, and a high wind warning in effect from 1 p.m. today until 7 p.m. tomorrow. 80% chance of rain and snow today with areas of fog and a high near 39. South winds around 35 with gusts as high as 55 miles an hour. Tonight, areas of fog, mostly clear with a low around 34. South winds around 40 with gusts as high as 60 miles an hour. Partly sunny on Friday, 30% chance of rain and snow, high near 37. Southwest winds around 40 with gusts as high as 60 miles an hour. Friday night, 30% chance of rain and snow. Areas of blowing snow, mostly cloudy skies, low around 30. Southwest winds 25 to 35, but goes as high as 50 miles an hour. Saturday, mostly cloudy, 20% chance of snow showers, a high near 34.
Rights abuses in the Chinese region of Xinjiang. China strongly opposes